Okay, hello. So good evening, parents and students. So we are going to begin the webinar in about like just 1 minute. Yeah, but thanks for being here on time, and we are going to start in 1 minute. Okay, so before we actually begin, since I will also have a lot of interactions in the webinar, just like in my class, so before we get started on the webinar, can you guys tell me, have you or maybe your child taken MC8 before? Okay, so if you have taken MC8, type yes in the chat. If not, like if this is going to be your first time, you can type no in the chat. So we are going to do just a brief survey and see how that goes. Okay, wow, awesome. So one time, yes, no. Okay, so we have a lot of you have not taken the MC8 before. That's great. Yeah, sorry, I just turned on my camera here. Yeah, that would be great because I think this webinar is going to help you a lot to know what the MC8 is, what that is about, and how you can proceed to study for the MC8. Okay, so hopefully the information can help you guys just to do better on the MC8. Thinking about it. Okay, so hopefully the webinar can also help you to decide whether you should just take some time to study for the MC8. Okay, all right, so I think it's 5 p.m. Pacific time, so we should maybe get started, okay? So we will have a Q&A session at the end, but if you have any questions throughout the webinar, just let me know in the chat, and I can also try my best to answer the questions. If not, I will also answer all the questions at the end of the webinar, okay? All right, sounds good. So now let's take a look our webinar today. So this will be about the MC8 preparation, and we are going to talk about how you can turn the summer into MC8 advantage. Because even though we still have about like 9 months until the MC8 happened next year in January, but I think summer will be a perfect time to do any sort of preparation because you are not in school and you have tons of time that you can do something that you like to do. So this will be a great opportunity to study for the MC8. Okay, so first of all, let me do a self-introduction. So who am I? Like why I'm here to host the webinar today. So my name is Dennis. I'm the lead of Think Academy middle school programs. And also I was the MC8 instructor, but in the recent years, I mostly teach the MC10 and also the AMC courses. But trust me, I still know a lot about the MC8. So just a little bit background about myself. I graduated from Duke University with a master's degree in quantitative finance, and also I graduated from University of Pittsburgh, majoring math and economics. So throughout my high school years and also in college, I just like math a lot. I guess that's also kind of the reason why I also try to study some finance because that's the most mathematics major in economics and business. But turns out that I still just like the mathematics better than finance. So that's how I come to Think Academy and become a math teacher. Yeah, so when I was a high school student, I also took a lot of testing and also just attended like some of the evaluations, and I always got a perfect scores in all the math courses, including some of the placement tests at school. So I was the earliest kids taking the like the AP calculus in my high school as well. Yeah, and also at the academy, I mostly just teach math competitions. So with I already taught MC8, MC10, AMI competition for about 4 years already. So this will be my fifth year teaching the math competition. So I also know a lot about competition. Yeah, so if you have any questions about competitions, feel free to let me know in the webinar, or you can just maybe like contact me afterwards to ask any questions. All right. Okay, so before we just talk about the MC8 preparation, I just want to first talk about the math competitions in the US, just in general. So the MC8 is actually one competition belong to this whole competition groups actually. So the MC8 is held by the MAA, which is the Mathematics Association of America. So they use the MC competitions to choose participants for the International Math Olympiad. So that's how you can see in this diagram, the IMO, which is the International Math Olympiad, is at the top. Because it's just going to be a whole series of competitions choosing that Team USA, basically. So at the end, there will be 6 students joining the Team USA and compete internationally. But before that, we have 500 students who can get to the USAMO or USAJMO round. That will be the national level math competition. And before that, we have the AMI competition, which invites about like 7,000 to 8,000 kids like each year. And then we have the MC10, MC12, and also the MC8. So you can think about the MC8 as the entry-level competition, and also that's a really good choice for many middle school students and also even elementary school students if we start early, okay? So just a few common questions about the MC8 that we will also talk about in today's webinar. So these are the questions I received a lot in the past. Even right now, I still receive all these questions like each year. So basically here, if we look at the MC8, is it the right competition for my kid? Because we also have some other choices like Math Kangaroo, and we also have the Moans, we have Math Cons. So there are a lot of math competitions for middle schoolers and also elementary students. So is this the right program for my kid? And the second question will be like, how should I really study the MC8? Like, where should I begin? And then what should I do with the MC8? And if we want to be more specific, then maybe what can I do in the summer to study for the MC8? If I have plenty of time, what should I do right now to get a good result at the end? And also lastly, we have a lot of MC8 resources out there. It could be free resources, it could be paid resources, but how should I find the best one, or how should I use all of them to get a better preparation? So we are going to talk all about this in the webinar today, okay? All right, so that will be today's agenda. We are going to first look at the MC8, and also we are going to focus on the summer to see how we can use the summer to study for the MC8. And then lastly, I will also talk about what we have at the Academy that can help our families and also our students to get good results. All right, so first of all, what is the MC8 and why should we take the MC8? So why don't we do this? Let me know in the chat. Are you guys planning to take the MC8 next year? So type yes or no in the chat. Are we planning to take MC8? Okay. Yes, okay. I guess that's why you're here, I think, like at this webinar, right? So we want to maybe like take the MC8, and maybe, yeah, so at least you should be maybe interested in MC8 and just want to know more about this competition, right? So I'm going to talk about what the MC8 is and maybe why you should take it and whether you should take it, okay? So for many students, if we want to just take math competitions, definitely interest will be a very important factor, because if you don't like math, I would say just maybe stay away from math competition if you don't like math. You have a lot of other opportunities out there that you can also do, because generally speaking, for the whole US education system, holistic review is a big part, not only just in the college applications, but also if you want to maybe apply to like some special program, or if you want to apply to like say some private high schools, holistic review is just going to be the major consideration for all the programs. So that being said, you have a lot of opportunities out there. However, if you want to really focus on STEM areas, or if you want to maybe show how good you are at mathematics, then math competition can be a really good way to showcase your math ability and also problem solving. So you can see here, even though we have all the holistic reviews in terms of like college preparation or like just like school application in general, you can break them down into just 2 major areas. You should have strong academic records, and also you should have a demonstrated interest backed by all the actual curriculars that you have. And if you can do well on these 2 areas, then you can have a really good result from basically just any applications. And it turns out that if you want to do some STEM majors, if you want to study the STEM majors, then math competition will be a good choice. So before that, are you guys interested in maybe pursuing the STEM major at the end when you apply to college? Yes or no? Are you guys interested in that, or maybe still thinking about that? Not sure, or yes, okay, maybe yes. No, probably physics. I mean, physics is still like a STEM major, right? It's the science. So yeah, but if you want to do something like this, then math competition can be a really good choice as well. Okay. So yeah, so we will have the recording later on. So I will send the recording just like after the webinar. Okay. And now you can see some of the major reasons that you may want to take or pursue a STEM major. We have a lot of reasons to do that. So for example, you may have higher like average like salary if you pursued a STEM major, and also you can have more career opportunities, especially now like in terms of the AI. If you don't work at like some STEM focused career, knowing something about AI or like knowing something about software can also help you to get more career opportunities. And also it will be maybe easier to get a job, as we see a lot of data from colleges. STEM majors tend to have more opportunities as well. So that's why like many students and also many parents would like to consider the STEM major. So if we want to really stand out from the STEM major, then the most important thing is to show that you're really good at math. Especially if you are in middle school right now, or if you are in like some higher elementary schools. The reason is in middle school, you don't have a lot of background information, or like you don't have really good foundation in science topics, because in middle school the science courses are super easy and they're also very just not sophisticated enough. Only until you go to high school you will take like some real biology class, some physics class. That's going to be the planning. But for math, many middle schools already have the different math track, that if you are proficient in math, you can just go to a faster math track. And if you are good at math, you can also do math competition. So you have a lot of opportunities as well in middle school to do more in math. And also, if you want to apply to college in the future, the top colleges, especially if you want to apply to STEM majors, they will also ask you about your AMC scores and results in the application. Okay, so here I just have a few like screenshots that you can maybe take a look. But because I also have been through the college application, if you have something about academics, that's going to be some outstanding results that you can include in the application. And also, if we look at some of the like application results from the top colleges, for example, at Harvard, there's one student with math competition experience in every 5 accepted students. Even though that doesn't sound maybe a lot, but as you can see, if we also compare with all the other academic extracurriculars, it's actually one of the top choices in all these academic related extracurriculars. So again, it's a very popular choice for extracurriculars. And if we also just go to maybe some earlier stage, if you try to maybe apply to some of the private middle school or high school, the MC results can also be a really good just game changer. As you can see, we also emailed a lot of like top 50 private schools to just ask them what kinds of students like they favor, and also what will help us to get into those top like private schools. And most schools will say that they like to see some math competition awards, if not the others, because like in this case, they can know you're really good at math, and also you're really good at academics because you know how to study for math competition. That's something we want to also show like those committee about, and you can also get a better results. Okay, so the short conclusion will be the math competition can give you more opportunities in STEM field, especially in middle school and also in high school. So you can use that to show your passion, to show your interest. You can show that you're really good at math and problem solving, and you can also show that you are really good at like studying and also preparing for some harder like problems or harder tasks, basically. Okay. But that being said, even though math competition is pretty good, right? But which math competition will be the best choice for middle school students? Because when I asked the question earlier, when I said whether you plan to take the MC8 or no, I think most of you guys will take the MC8, right, in this upcoming year. So why do we like MC8? Or what do we like about the MC8? So actually, before middle school, the MC8 is not the top choice for most of the US students. So before middle school in elementary schools, actually, I would say Math Kangaroo will be the better choice. That's because for the MC8, do you guys know what the 8 means? Like in the name of MC8. Do you guys know what like the 8 means? Should I consider taking MC8? I think that would be a little bit too early if you are just like third grade. Yes. Yes, eighth grade. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for the answers. That's right. So the MC8 means that it's for students at grade 8 or below. So that being said, if you are in like say grade 4 or grade 5, you will compete against students from grade 7 and grade 8. And trust me, that's going to be like 3 or 4 years of gap in terms of competition experience and also problem solving skills. So that in some way is not a really fair competition for our elementary students on the MC8. However, the Math Kangaroo actually break down their competition for every 2 grade levels. So like say if you are in grade 3, you can just compete against kids from grade 3 and also from grade 4. And you don't have to worry about competing against the higher like just grade level students in the competition. So that will be more fair. However, as you can see from the diagram, so here we have a just a statistics about the number of students taking the Math Kangaroo at the US. So what do we observe from this graph? Now we can see from grade 1 all the way until about grade 3 and grade 4, we see a really like significant just increase, right, in terms of the people taking the Math Kangaroo test. However, you can see from grade 4 to grade 5, we have a slight drop. And once we go from grade 5 to grade 6, what happened? We have significantly less people taking the Math Kangaroo. So does that mean people, like students, are not taking math competitions in middle school? What do you think? Well, that might not be the case, right? So where did the students go? Take a guess. So if they still want to do some competitions, but now they are not in Math Kangaroo, so where are they? Where are the middle school students and also the high school students? The AMC. Okay, that's right. Good job. So now if we take a look on the MC, we can figure out the reason, right? So unlike the Math Kangaroo, where we have a lot of kids taking Math Kangaroo at grade 3 and grade 4, for AMC8 is just a completely different story. So we only have a very small amount of students taking the MC8 in grade 4 and grade 5. Even though the results are not that bad, but also the kids are more prepared if they take MC8 in grade 4 and grade 5. However, what we see from grade 5 to grade 6 is that we have a nearly like 10,000 increase of students taking the MC8 from grade 5 to grade 6, and we also see a very large increase at grade 7 and also at grade 8. So that means more and more students will take the MC8 in middle school. And that's like definitely the most popular competitions for the middle school students in the US. And also you can see the students at grade 7 and grade 8 will have higher average score. Well, that also makes sense, right? You are just like more mature and you are able to solve some harder questions, so you should be able to get a better results. So that's going to be the competitions. So now you can see competitions will be great if you like math or if you just like STEM in general, because this can help you to showcase you are really good at this. And also by doing the preparation, you can also get better in math and also in STEM field as well. And the MC8 will be the top choice for our middle schoolers. So the question will be, if I plan to take the MC8 next year, what should I do in the summer? So let's also maybe ask our like just audience here. So have you started the MC8 preparation yet? Yes or no? So let me know in the chat. Have you started the MC8 preparation yet? Kinda. Yes, no. Okay, yeah, so yes, I don't know, some of them, yeah, so some of you are like preparing for the MC8 already, but also a lot of you guys are not starting the MC8 preparation. That's also normal, right? Because we still have like about 9 months until we take like about just yeah 8 months, yeah, until we take the MC8 now. So we have plenty of time, right? But what I would say is that for the MC8 preparation, if you haven't done any preparation, now would be actually a good time to do the MC8 preparation. Okay, so because you can see here for the whole MC8, first of all, we already know is for students in grade 8 or below. And it also has 25 multiple choice questions, which can only be solved in 40 minutes. So it's a very tight exam. And also you will get like 1 point every problem and there will be no penalty for just guessing. So you can see for if we look at the average score, which is about like 10 points, then for most of the students, they can only got 10 questions correct. And since like there's no penalty of guessing, I would say for most kids, if they don't have enough time, they will just like randomly guess some of the questions to maybe get more points. So you can see, even that being said, the average is only about 10 points. And if you want to get some awards, the list you should get will be 15 points. If you are in grade 6 or below, you can get the achievement roll. However, just in general, if you want to get more awards like the top 5% and the top 1% even, the bar is actually around 18 points or more. So you can see there will be a huge gap between the average and also if you want to get some awards. And if you want to fill in the gap, you want to also begin the preparation as early as possible. Okay, if you want to really get some awards and not just like trying the competitions and maybe get an average score. That's not what we want. So what's covered in the MC8 and what should we study? So not only the competition itself is very competitive, there is also a lot of contents, all right, from the MC8. So you can see here for all the different modules, the most important modules will be, first of all, we have geometry, and we also got like word problems, which will also be very important. And then we also have counting and probability. But on top of that, we also have a lot of different modules that are also very important because you only got like 25 questions. So the breakdown can change a little bit year by year. So every topics will be very important. If you want to get a good results from the MC8, then at least you should know how to solve the problem. If we just don't talk about how fast you can do the questions, at least you should know how to solve the problems by knowing all the topics. And also you can see that if we look at just like all the competitions, also comparing with the school standards, because if you have not like studied math competition that seriously, if we also see the comparison between the school standards, most of the topics will also be aligned with the Common Core standards from grade 6 to grade 8. Most of them will be from grade 7 to grade 8. So that's why I would say for middle schoolers, you can take MC8. That's the reason. But you can see here, if you want to really get some good results, having learned all those basic topics can also help you to do better on the MC8. Okay. So here will be just some checklist for you guys if you want to really succeed in the MC8. First one is that you want to have learned all the Common Core topics from grade 6 to grade 8 because that's I would say the first step actually. If you haven't just learned all those topics from your school, then you have still a long way to go. You want to first learn the basic stuff before you can actually do some MC8. So let me know in the chat. Are you proficient in Common Core from grade 6 to grade 8? Or have you completed like say pre-algebra or like some math 8? Yes, so are we good with the first checklist? Okay, no, not yeah. Maybe if you have not like study or finished the Common Core grade 6 to grade 8, you can first consider maybe having them done before you can do some competition prep. Okay, but if you are a yes, then you're good to go. Okay, and the next step will be to have the ability to solve the harder questions beyond the Common Core requirements. So what do we mean by having the ability? It's actually not the same thing as you can maybe got a high scores on the MC8 because as we mentioned, the MC8 is only a 40 minutes test with 25 multiple choice questions. So actually you have less than 2 minutes to solve each problem. That's crazy, all right? Trust me, that's crazy. So not only you want to solve them fast enough, but before that, you want to have the ability to solve the harder questions. So maybe you can take about 3 minutes or 5 minutes to solve the harder questions. But if you are able to solve them, that's going to be the next step. You want to know how to solve those harder questions. All right. Okay. And then next is that you want to also acquire the basic knowledge about, like, say, number theory and also counting probability. Because throughout my years of teaching MC8 and also the MC10, what I see from my students is that they are not that confident with number theory and also counting. Is that your case? Let me know. So comparing like algebra and geometry, do you guys feel like counting, probability, number theory are just like just more scary? What do you think? Kinda? No? Or okay. Yeah, so I see a lot of questions in the chat. So we have a QA session at the end. So you can also like let me know afterwards if you have any questions. All right. Okay. Yeah, but that's going to be just something you should also consider doing before that. And then once you are good about like solving the problems and also know the basic fundamentals, the next step is just to practice. The reason we practice is that we want to solve the questions faster and faster. You want to be fast enough that at least you should be able to solve like 20 questions out of the 25 questions on the MC8, right? Because that's how you can maybe get some awards on the MC8. So you want to take a lot of practice so that you can solve the questions faster, okay? So that's going to be just like some checklist you should like keep in mind as you do the preparation. But because you can see that in this checklist, even though I just like try my best to summarize into 4 points, but there will be also a lot of details like that you should do to achieve those results. So the other thing I would say is that before you do the preparation, it's also very important that you have a plan on how you can really proceed with the preparation, and also you want to have the good resources. So the planning will go first. You know what you should do to get MC8. And secondly, based on the plan, you want to find all the resources that can help you to get the results at the end. All right. So here will be just how the planning will look like in the year-round MC8. So again, depending on where you at right now, like say maybe if you are in grade 3 right now, then this would not be the planning for you. But all of this planning will based on if you already have like finished like the Common Core 6 to Common Core 8. I would say that's like the minimum requirements if you want to do MC8. Because if you haven't learned that, you should learn like some Pythagorean theorem, or if you want to learn like some of the basic calculation before starting the MC8 preparation. But that being said, if you have already finished pre-algebra or like math 8 at your school, or just like maybe in some other programs like Think Academy, then you can do this planning. So from July, which is right now, all the way until September and then December and then just maybe before January, I would say that you want to focus on learning the MC8 topics because it takes time to know how to solve each problems in the most efficient way. And it also takes time to learn about how to apply the different topics in solving the questions. Okay? And the second step, which can also happen as you learn the MCA topics, and I would recommend you begin the practice from September. Because after that, you have already learned some topics in the summer, and then you can just do a lot of practice based on that to increase your speed and also your accuracy. Okay? So you can like just try your best to practice. And we will also have some resources at Think Academy to help you with that, which I will talk about in a second. But you want to do the practice just right before the MC8 and maybe do 1 or like 2 rounds of the mock exam will help you also to get ready for the MC8. Okay, so this will be just the general planning. And if you want to have more detailed planning for your kid, or you can just maybe let me know after the webinar, and I'm happy to help you guys with that. Okay. And next, let's talk about some resources that can also help you to practice the MC8 problems. So here I have a few common lists that we have. The first one will be the past exams, which are also available on the like just online. And you can also let me know. I can send you the past exams as well. The past exams will always be the best resources, okay, that you can use. I would say without the past exams, you are not ready to take the MC8. You should at least do some past exams to get an idea on how the MC8 is like. The second one will be some of the like the books and maybe textbook or workbook that's also available just maybe on Amazon or just the other platform. So among the books, I would say the AOPS book will be some of the great resources that you can also use. So I would recommend the Problem Solving Volume 1 for the MC8 problems. And of course, at Think Academy, we also have free resources. So not only just like you can buy the textbook from AOPS, but also at Think Academy, we make some resources also free for all the Think Academy families, and you can also access the practice problems. So first of all, where can you find the past exams? So if you want to find the past exams, the easiest way is just to Google the MC8 past exams, and you can find a collection of all the exams with the solutions. So that will be the best way to find the exams. And here will be my recommendation. You should use the past exams before about like say 2019 as some routine practice. So maybe you can take 1 test per week just to do the problems and try the questions. And I will also recommend you maybe start from like the year of 2000 and then maybe try to work your way to the later exams. That might be better because the MC8 problems are also getting more difficult. So if you start with the earlier MC8 and then you do the harder ones, that will also be better as you also study and get better on the MC8. And then you want to maybe save the last 5 MC8 paper until around December and also January. So you want to save the most recent MC8 exams right before the test. And then you can use those exams to do some mock test. All right. The way to use the problems here will also be just not going to just be solving the problems and then look at the solutions. I would recommend, first of all, you want to solve as many problems as possible in 40 minutes. So just like a real test, you want to time yourself for only 40 minutes. So by doing this, you will get the real sense on how the problems will feel like on the MC8. And you will also know like for the problem, I only have this given amount of time. So I don't want to maybe waste too much time thinking about the questions. I just want to try my best to do as many problems as possible. This can help you to develop a good test taking habit so that you don't have to go to the real test and thinking about like, I have a lot of time just like when I do the practice. No, that's not going to be the way, okay? And then, of course, as you do the practice, you are not able to finish all the problems in 40 minutes, right? It's okay. Then you want to stop the timer and finish the remaining problems, but make sure to also circle those problems down. Because after you have tried all the problems, okay? After you have tried all the problems, you should review the mistakes and also the problems that takes longer than 1.5 minutes. Because as I said, you have less than 2 minutes for each problem. If you are taking too much time, then you should also revisit the MC8, the solution, because there should be always some faster way to solve the problem. Okay, so does that help? Let me know in the chat. So does that help? Any questions about this recommendation? Are we good? All right. Okay, yeah, so this will be the recommendation on how you can use the MC8 problems. Okay, all right, thank you so much. Okay, And also, you can also get like some resources online as well. Of course, this will have like some cost. So I would say the AOPS Volume 1 will be a very good resources. That's paid resources, but also like you can get a lot of questions and solutions with that. So something good about the book is that it's not that expensive, so roughly about $60 and you can get a copy. And the contents are also quite complete. You are able to do a lot of problems in the book. But the other question will be that is that it's a very comprehensive book that it covers topics not just from the MC8 level, but there will also be some MC10 level questions in the book. So as you do the problems, you also want to maybe look at the topics to see whether it's too advanced or it's just like okay for the MC8. So do expect to see some questions that are too challenging and you can skip the problems at this moment. And it's also not tailored to the MC8 preparation in the sense. So what we do is that at Think Academy, we also try to provide more free resources through email and also our WhatsApp group. And also in the WeChat, we also have a lot of resources available. So you can see we try to give about 15 problems every week for the MC8. And this will also just be only for the MC8. So we choose the problems carefully to make sure it's the right difficulty level and the right topic for the MC8 preparation. And on top of the free practice, we also have some mock exams and also the self-evaluation that can help you guys. By the way, so even though like we plan to have the self-evaluation just around like the late July, but you guys want the self-evaluation right now? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat. I mean, if you want them right now, I can also try my best to see if I can speed up a little bit and have the evaluation. Okay, sure. So how about this? So if you want to have the evaluation right now, just maybe send me a text message or send me a message on WhatsApp and I can give you the self-evaluation maybe as early as possible. Okay, yes, I will have my contact info at the end of the webinar. Okay, so and also what else? What makes Think Academy a really good MC8 program, and how can we help our kids to succeed on the in the MC8? So before we have a lot of good results from the MC8 already. So not only just like MC8, but also in MC10, we have really good results as well. Actually, 60% of our grade 6 students win some awards on the MC8. So including achievement road and also like honor roll, distinguished honor roll. So we have really good results from the MC8 and also MC10 preparation. So how did we do all of this, right? So you can see that for the MC8 preparation, it includes, first of all, proficiency in Common Core grade 6 to grade 8. This is covered with Think Academy elementary school courses. So we try to accelerate a little bit to make sure that through years, you will also be more ahead than your peers. And you can also finish the middle school topics even before you go to middle school. Okay, so you can finish all the grade 8 topics actually in the grade 5 spring course. So we have that covered. And the second thing is we also have harder questions and also harder contents to help you to develop the ability to solve the harder questions beyond the Common Core standards. And also we have number theory, counting probability, word problems, sequences. We have a lot of competition topics blended in our program that can also help you to just get more ready. And of course, more practice as Think Academy are developing all the mock exams and also the practice to help you guys to practice a lot. So basically for the whole MC8 program and also for our courses, we design the courses in the way that you will be ready to get the MC8 done. So for example, I'm just going to talk about like one MC8 honor roll course. Just mostly this will be for our grade 6 students taking the MC8. So you can see in the MC8 honor roll camp, we have different modules covered like algebra, number theory, geometry, and also counting probability. So it's a very comprehensive program that covers all the topics. And also we break down the key concepts in depth to make sure that you have full understanding on all the topics. And it's not like some of the other programs where you have only just the problems and the teacher just go through the problems one by one and maybe explain the questions after you do the practice. We don't do that. We also organize all the topics and give in-depth teaching on the topics to make sure you really understand this. Okay. And also, you can see as we have like all the notes and the mind map to help you develop this understanding. And also we have the teacher to follow up with you after the weekly homework assignments. And also we do the feedback like about 3 to 4 lessons to give you a more detailed feedback as well. Plus, the office hour will also be included in our program. So every week we have the office hour to go through the homework assignment questions. And if you are enrolled in our courses, you can also attend the office hour for free because we just want to make sure that you understand every single topic from our class. All right. So after we do that, of course, we can get some good results, right? Because we have like tried our best to have all the contents ready, and also the teachers will be there to support you to make sure that if you have any questions you don't know about, you can just contact us and let us know. And we also just keep you posted on the preparation progress to make sure that you don't miss any support from the teachers. Okay, so in terms of the whole preparation, it's not just for the MC8. So we actually also plan the topics throughout the preparation of the math competition in middle school. So after grade 6, after we have taken the MC8 already, our students from grade 7 and grade 8 will begin to prepare for the MC10. But of course, if you join the program maybe a little bit late, this timeline can also be adjusted based on where you are at right now. But basically, the whole program is designed that after you finish the MC8, you can begin MC10 preparation right away. So there's no gap between the preparation. And by doing this, you can also get the MC10 results as soon as possible. So if you actually join Think Academy just in elementary schools, then you can finish MC10 before going to high school. So you can see you already have the high school competition results even before you go to high school. So that's going to save you a lot of time like in terms of high school extracurriculars and also all the coursework. Okay. Yeah, so that will be just all the courses here. But of course, if you want to know more about our summer courses, it's also open for enrollment right now. We actually have some new courses just happening around mid-July. So we have some new courses offering. So you can also maybe let me know about this, and I can help you to do the evaluation and give you the best advice about which courses you should take and also how to prepare for the MC8 as well. You can first scan the QR code on the top of the screen here to see some course offering that we have, and you can maybe check the courses schedules. But if you want to know more, make sure to scan the QR code on the bottom right corner and send me a message, and I can help you to give you the right program. So even though if you are like in grade 5 or grade 6, maybe you are not ready for the MC8, but we also have more programs to help you develop the abilities. Maybe you can still take Math Kangaroo and then you can take the MC8 earlier. All right. So yeah, this will be just my full contact information. So do send me a message on WhatsApp, or if you preferred using email or text message, I also have my email address and also I have my phone number over here. But yeah, don't call me right now because I'm on the webinar. But just do send me a text message and I will also reply to you after the webinar. Okay. But now I'm going to have the QA session. So if you guys have any questions, maybe let me know in the chat. Okay. So I do see a lot of chats going on here, but let me know in the chat if you have any questions. Okay, so the first question, is there a good way to filter out MC8 questions from the AOPS books? So yeah, that's what I said is for the MC, for the book, they don't actually break them down into the topics. So that could be like a problem about the book, so I would say. So if you want to have only like MC8 only topics, getting the pre-algebra textbook might be actually better because you are not going to get just anything beyond the MC8 from that book. But I would say after you finish the pre-algebra book, try some of the MC, like the LPS Volume 1. Another way to test if you need that is after you have taken pre-algebra and you see something that's just you totally cannot understand, then that's not a good topic to look at this moment for MC8. Yeah, so that would be the question here. Yeah, I have trouble doing the geometry problems with square roots. What resources do I use? With square roots, do you mean like some Pythagorean theorem or just like any questions associated with like square roots? I feel like that could be a question more about calculation. Yeah. So if you're asking about like just the Pythagorean theorem, then maybe getting some practice from right triangles could be better. But if you just like want to do some about the square roots, I think I would say like maybe some calculation practice can help. Yeah. Is there a way to fast track learning Common Core grade 6 to grade 8 through Think Academy? I'm rising fifth grader. Yeah, so that's actually a good question. So for our grade 5 course, okay, so if you can get into our just a challenge track of our grade 5 course, we actually finish all the grade 6 to grade 8 in 1 year at grade 5. So yeah, you can let me know, like send me a message and I can help you to see if that's good. If not, we also have some other programs that can take maybe a slower track, but you can also learn the topics with more foundations. Okay, but do send me a message and I can see which course might be good for you. But we do have a program for rising fifth grader to finish all the grade 6 to grade 8 in just 1 year, plus with some of the extension on competition. Yeah. Do incorrect answers occur a penalty? I mean, yeah, like it's not going to take any points down like off, but you're not going to get any points. Yeah, so I would say if you got them incorrect, then you just don't have the points. Is there trigonometry and other advanced topics? Not on the MC8. So for trigonometry, it will only show up on the MC12, not even the MC10. Okay. As far from I know, and this need I mean MC competition. Yes. So first of all, we don't support manager to register because that's actually what you should do with the with the MAA because they will approve the competition manager. We are also just a competition manager, so we cannot help other manager to get approved. But if you are around like Seattle and also like Bay Area and also Irvine, then you can attend our test centers. Okay, but usually only school and also like institutes can become competition manager. So if you are a parent, then technically you are not allowed to be a competition manager. Okay. Charles taking Think Academy Grade 5, would you benefit from MC8 preparation course? Yes, so right now we have the module classes that can help our Grade 5 students to review the core topics. Because if you have taken our courses for like maybe 2 or 3 semesters, then you have some good MC8 preparation already. So I would say definitely you can take the MC8 this coming year and maybe aim for the achievement role. That's going to be a really reasonable goal. Yeah. Try the MCA papers, whether I do attend only 17, 18, not even able to attend less 7 to 8 questions. So that also depends. If you are not able to solve the questions given just enough amount of time, then maybe you should also learn the topics first. Because if you don't know how to solve the questions, there's no meaning of doing more practice. You want to first know the topics and know how to solve them before you do more practice. All right. Yeah, so I also think someone helping you as well. So yeah, thanks for the help. If my goal is to get 20 score, can get more, should I try to attempt 21, 22 max and try to get them all right? Yes, that could be a good strategy because again, I would say the time is really is a concern, right? And also the questions are getting harder and harder, so you do expect to take more time to solve the later questions. So one thing I also see before is that some kids will take about like say 35 minutes to do like 20 questions and they wouldn't take the last 5 minutes to do more. They will actually check their work and make sure they got most questions correct from before and just like take some guess on the remaining questions. So yeah, I would say that's also a pretty good strategy. A good way to, oh yeah, I think I answered the questions already. What are the key differences between MC8 and MC10A? Yeah, so first of all, for the MC10A and B, they are like just the same level of the test. For the MC10, it's offered like kind of like twice a year because the MC10B, even though it's more like just a backup for the MC10, but you can also take both of them. So it's like you have 2 chances to take MC10. But the differences between MC8 and MC10 is huge. First of all, in terms of the knowledge, the MC10 will test more on the advanced algebra topics from like Algebra 1 and some Algebra 2 topics, and also it covers the high school geometry. And also for number theory, counting probability is also going to get some more advanced topics. And because they will also have a lot of problems that are about different modules. So you can see as you have more and more topics in different module and you can also combine them in any ways. So the overall complexity of the MC10 problems are just way more complicated than the MC8 problems. And that's how you can also get more time to do the MC10. So MC10 will be 75 minutes, but MC8 will be 40. I do have a webinar next, like just tomorrow. So if you want to know more about MC10, you can also join the webinar tomorrow. Yeah. Should I do MC8 if I'm going to go to 6? Yes, you should, definitely. Yeah. So I think you should be ready to study MC8 preparation. So yeah, do send me a message if you want to know more. Will you evaluate and teach kids on their own pace to cover the grade 6 to grade 8 syllabus? Not right now. So right now we only have the group lessons, so it's not like a one-on-one setting, but we do have the different level of the courses. So I'm sure that it will be one course that's right for you. And that's also why we do evaluation, because we have all the different levels. We want to match your kids with the right level. And we will also have the teachers to talk with you after the evaluation. Yes. Okay, yeah, so how do I register for MC through Think Academy? Oh yeah, so we will also send out the emails about the MC registration. So we do expect to have the registration begin around mid-August. So still like stay tuned about our email and you can like take a look on the announcements. Is there a course for counting, probability, and like number theory? Yeah, so we have like some short-term module classes, but because the long-term classes already cover all the topics, so we don't have a separate courses like that, but we do have like some short-term module classes that will review and go through the key concepts, if that's what you are asking for. Okay, rising sixth graders, should we should do pre-algebra? Oh yeah, so the pre-algebra already covers the grade 7 and grade 8 common core. So if you are doing pre-algebra, you are also good. Yeah, so the grade 6 to grade 8 common core are basically the same as pre-algebra. Yes. All right. All right, thanks so much for all the questions. So yeah, so do send me a message or email or WhatsApp so I can also get back to every single question. Okay. Can I take MC8 exam multiple times? Yes, definitely. So you can take MC8 multiple times until you are grade 9. Yeah, so grade 8 will be the last chance to take the MC8, and you can also take the highest score if you want to report the result. So how do you practice the questions if you want to actually learn some of the materials? So I would say that if you're asking about like doing the practice to learn the content, I would say as you learn the topics, you want to do the practice just about that topics. That's also how we do the homework assignments. Yeah, so if you learn this topic, then of course you want to do the practice just on that topic to make sure you really understand all the contents. Yes. Going to be a sixth grader. Should I? Yeah. So I think I answered the question already. How different MC8 and Math Kangaroo? So I would say if you compare with the same level like MC8 and Math Kangaroo, like around level 7 to 8, the MC8 is a lot harder. So for Math Kangaroo, the difficulty is actually not that bad. So it's a very easy competition in a sense. But for the MC8 and also for the Math Cons, they will be more of a prestigious math competition that you can choose. So MC8 will be harder than the Math Kangaroo. Yeah. Should I do MC8 if I'm going to 6? Yes, yeah, you should. You see kids often learn one topic and probably forgot after a couple of weeks. What's your suggestion? Yes, definitely. So again, I would say that for the competition, it's also quite normal that maybe we'll forget about some of the topics. Actually, that's just normal if you want to learn any stuff. So I would say that first of all, as you learn the topics, like you are going to like just do the homework assignments, and there might be some mistakes. So if you are in Think Academy, we actually have the notebook function that just collects all the mistakes you made before, and you can use the notebook to review the mistakes. If not, you can also have your own like notebook to keep track of all the mistakes you made. And I would say definitely just revisit the mistakes every single month. That's going to help. And also as for the competition preparation, also plan to do some mock test, because as you do the mock test, you can also maybe see, okay, so maybe this topic, I learned about that, but when I do the mock test, I didn't know how to solve that again. It's okay. Just look at the problem again, read the solution, and try the problem again by themselves to make sure they reinforce the topic. Because the only way against forgetting is to reinforce. So you want to just routinely revisit the topics and use the mock exam as one way to evaluate whether you forget about it or not. what's the difference between mass cons and MC8? So for the mass cons, the major difference is that mass cons will be a group competition. So you have to team up with some other students from maybe your school to do the mass cons. And in terms of the difficulty, the first few rounds of mass cons is easier than the MC8. But if you go to the state level or even the national level, it's going to be harder than the MC8. What are covered in Algebra 1 and Algebra 2? So Algebra 1 covers like linear functions, quadratic functions, factorizations. So you can see it's going to be more advanced algebra topics. And for Algebra 2, you will have like polynomial, trigonometry, logarithms, and also some complex numbers. So I wouldn't say they are required for the MC8. However, if you know some Algebra 1, it might help, but it's not required. So what if I skipped 2 grades in my school and I'm doing high school math in school? Can I still do MC8? Of course, yeah. So the MC8 will only look at your actual grade level, so it's not about your math progress. So let's say if you are in grade, like if you are rising grade 7, but you will be taking Algebra 1, the grade 9 course, then you can still take MC8 for sure. But because you are already advanced in math progress, you can also consider preparing for the MC10 already. Yeah, but you can take MC8. What classes the Academy offers as general? Yeah, so at the Academy, we have, first of all, we have the math competition courses. So for example, you can see here, this will be only for the middle school competition, but we have a complete course track for the competition, like just classes. And also we have school math courses, like we have the all the way from pre-K to Algebra 2 and pre-calculus. Yeah, so for our school track, this will also be helping you to do like some acceleration and help you to pass the mass placement test. Okay, and for MOENS and MC8, yeah, so MC8 is definitely harder. But we do see a lot of kids taking the MOENS as well, but the MC8 will be just a lot harder in general. What are the classes going to look like? So for all the classes, like first of all, we will have the teacher to go through each concept. As you can see, this will be some example of the class notes. So we have like 3 to 4 concepts for each lesson, and then the teacher will explain the concept and then do some examples, and the kids will take some practice. We also have trial lessons. So if you are interested, you can also send me a message, and I can give you one evaluation and just give you a trial lesson, and you can just try that on your own to see whether your kids like it. There are some MCA preparation courses beginning in July. All the ones I see. Yeah, so I think it should be actually at the very end. But yeah, do send me a message and I can help you with the courses. So I think we do have some courses begin in July. So send me a message and I can get back to you as well. More pre-algebra problems. So if you are at the academy, you can maybe private message me and I can send you more practice just pre-algebra level. But in terms of the courses, I would say getting maybe some middle school math workbook can also help with pre-algebra problems. Okay, so I think that being answered. Yeah. Courses. Is there a benefit longer term to take other tests like MOENS, MassCon along with MC8? I would say the other ones were just for practice. That's a really good question. Because if you are talking about like just some long-term benefit, I would say you should also consider what math competition will be like in high school. So in the high school level, you have only just like MC 10 and 12 that will be just more important national level competition. But also we have like some competition hosted by universities and also maybe from some local like just yeah, like some local communities as well. For those tests, you can still compete against the other students, but I would say since you will do MC10, MC12 in high school, then MC8 will be the major choice as well. Yeah, if you have no more questions, then you can go for sure. Okay. Yes, the meeting will be is recorded, so I will send you the recording links through email if you have registered like this webinar. So I will send you the recording. If not, you can also send me a message what's on WhatsApp or just send me a text message, and I can help you with that. Okay. All right. But thanks so much for all the questions, and also thanks for attending this webinar. Hopefully this content can help you guys. But if you do have any questions or if you want to know more about the Academy courses, send me a message and I can get back to you and just answer any questions. All right. So thank you so much and see you guys next time. Bye. Yes, MC score has impact on college application, of course. But I would say MC10, MC12 has more impact than MC8. Yes, the recording will be available maybe in next 1 or 2 hours. But I will send the recording through email. So if you have like registered for the webinar, you will receive the email later today. Or you can just like send me a WhatsApp or like text message, and I can send you the recording link as well. Okay, but thank you so much. Yeah, bye guys, bye.